Make them fear the skies. Make them fear you. Hello, my lovely monsters. I am Fasa the Silver Chimera, and I've returned with a new build for the Hunter. Dominate the airways, resist all the damage, and look cool at the same time. Let's get to it. Part 1. The Weapon. Starting off, we're using the exotic void SMG, the Manticore. This comes with the perk Soaring Fang. Dealing damage while grounded charges anti-grav repulsors. Dealing damage while airborne extends anti-grav repulsors. TLDR, shoot things, jump, stay in the air, and shoot more things. The next perk is Swooping Talons. Dealing damage while airborne increases this weapon's damage output. Now, from my understanding, while this perk is active, this weapon does 100% more damage. If anyone out there knows for sure, please comment down below. Finally, we have the Catalyst Flying Monster. While you are airborne, sustained damage and final blows to this weapon to difficult combatants grants a void overshield, reduces combatant accuracy, and returns ammo to the magazine. This little monster can do a lot, as you can see, and we'll be using that void overshield in a bit, so stay tuned. Part 2, the armor. We're wearing the new Hunter chest piece, Gifted Conviction. These come with the new perk, the Gift of Certainty. Activating Ascension or Tempest Strike throws bouncing explosives at nearby targets that jolt and damage them. Jolting nearby targets grants you damage resistance. So, with this chest, every time we use the new Whirly Durly ability, things die and we become tanky. What's not to love? Part 3, Class and Mods. We're on the Prismatic subclass, so we can rock that multicolored type of destruction. For our super, I recommend Silk Strike to synergize with one of our facets coming up. For the dodge, I'd say Marksman for the lowest cooldown. For the melee, Threaded Spike is a good pick for a source of darkness damage. And finally, we want the Magnetic Grenade to synergize with the facet coming up. Moving to our aspects, first up is Ascension to synergize with our exotic chest. Long press the dodge button while airborne. Consume your class ability energy to summon your arc staff, propelling yourself upwards and creating a burst of energy around you that amplifies allies and jolts targets. I have a lot of fun with this personally. It's a fun movement tool, and it's free and easy way to apply jolt, which can take care of overload champions. Next up is Stylish Executioner. Defeating a target afflicted by any elemental debuff grants invisibility and true sight. After performing a Stylish Execution, your next melee attack while invisible weakens targets. With this aspect, our Twirly Durly can make us invisible, and our Thread Spike can make things take 15% more damage. Now make sure to be careful around the stove because Daddy's cooking right now. Moving to our fragments, first up is the Facet of Purpose. Picking up an Orb of Power grants either Amplified, Restoration, Frost Armor, Woven Mail, or Overshield based on the damage type of your equipped super. Minus 10 to recovery. So this is why I recommended Silk Strike, so we can have Woven Mail, Overshields, and added DR from our exotic chest. Like, I know Guardians die a lot, it's kind of our thing, but do we have to? Next up, Facet of Dominance. Your Void Grenades weaken targets. Minus 10 to this one. Weakening is going to play a big role coming up, so this is a way for us to tap into that. Next is Facet of Hope. While you have an elemental debuff, your class ability regenerates more quickly. We'll have some kind of buff going almost all the time, and this helps keep Ascension up and running. Next, Facet of Bravery. Defeating targets with grenade final blows grant volatile rounds to your void weapons. Defeating targets with your powered melee final blows grants unraveling rounds to your strand weapons. Manticore is a void weapon, so volatile rounds are always nice. And if you want to run some strand weapons, they can benefit from the unraveling rounds. Finally, the Facet of Protection. While surrounded by combatants, you are more resistant to incoming damage. While Transcendent, the effect is increased, plus 10 to strength. Since this build is about sneaking around and hovering near groups of baddies, why not add just a pinch more damage reduction? Moving over to our artifact, the main group of mods I recommend are Void Hegemony. While you have a Void or Prismatic subclass equipped, defeating weakened targets provides a small Void overshield. We can tap into this with our grenade and our melee with Stylish Executioner. Next up is Radiant Orbs. While you have a Solar or Prismatic subclass equipped, picking up an Orb of Power makes you Radiant. Radiant is always helpful for more damage. Next is Galvanic Armor. God, I hope I'm saying these right. While you have an Arc or Prismatic subclass equipped, incoming damage from combatants is reduced while amplified. This is the cherry atop our tanky cake. We'll be amplified most of the time due to Ascension, meaning we're literally too flippy to die. Expanding Abyss is the next artifact mod, and it states void sources deal increased damage to weakened targets. We have weakened, and Manticore is also void, and don't be afraid to use a void power weapon like Ed's Transit or Fallen Guillotine for some serious damage. Finally, we have Shield Crush. While you have Woven Mail, Frost Armor, or a Void Overshield, your melee recharges faster and deals increased damage. While you are Amplified or Radiant, your Grenade recharges faster and deals increased damage. And what do you know? We have all of these damn near all the time. That's so crazy. It's like synergy or something. Moving to our armor mods, on the head we want a Void Siphon, that way Manticore can generate orbs, Hands-On for super energy, and Dynamo for the same reason. On the arms, we want Heavy-Handed for orb generation, and both momentum transfer and impact induction so our abilities can feed into one another. On the chest, Charged Up for more armor charges. On the legs, Void Weapon Surge to kick Manticore up a notch. And finally on the cloak, Time Dilation to extend the time of our weapon buff. With all these pieces joined together, you get a build that surprised me with how fun and effective it is. It's fast and dynamic and allows for a pretty unique playstyle, ducking in and out of invisibility, shifting between the air and ground, and resisting high amounts of damage. It works beautifully if you ask me. But now I gotta talk about the most important part of any Destiny build. Part 4, the fashion. So this is the outfit, and as always, I dig it. I wanted to blend the aesthetics of Manticore and Conviction, so I used the Viced Poison Shimmer shader, since Manticore is a Viced weapon. Then I used the Jimson Night Cloak to flow with Conviction's design, since they both have this like intricate line work on them. Then I used the First Ascent grips and the Hardened Bastion leg guards to match Conviction's belts and straps. Overall, I think the outfit looks great. It's complex, but it flows. Kind of like the build if you think about it. So henceforth, this build will be known as Gifted Monster. Be unknowable. Ascend to the skies and terrorize those who oppose you. Be bold. Stun your enemies with your shape and your power. And be unkillable. So, that's the build. Tell me, what do you think? Do you like the loadout? Do you like the outfit? Are there any adjustments you'd make? As always, talk to me in the comment section below. I love chatting with you all out there. If you don't know what to say, how about unkillable? That feels right. Right? If you want to check out more of my build videos, I have a playlist you can check out right here. And if you're a fan of Destiny's lore, I have a playlist of lore readings right here. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay. And that's about it for this video. I gotta go work on some more stuff, but if you can do me a favor and make the subscribe button pay child support, that would be great. I am Fasa the Silver Chimera, and I hope you enjoy your day. And I will see all of you beautiful monsters next time.